You're so hypnotic, magical. Don't wanna let you know you're so hypnotic, magical. I don't wanna let you know you're so hypnotic, magical.
It's the last day here at Cousins Gymnasium of the regular season for the Jumbo's men's basketball team. And they're looking to tune up and prepare themselves for an exciting weekend to try and come back to their home court in the opening rounds of the next CAC tournament. Welcome, everybody, to coverage of Division III men's basketball, brought to you by JumboCast. I am Andrew Howe, joined alongside my good friend Ethan Ito. Ethan, an exciting matchup today, a non-conference one between the Tufts Jumbos and the Colby-Sawyer College Mules out of the GNAC.
So yeah, as you said, Tufts have been a great home team this year. They're 10-1 at home. Cousins is a fortress. They wanna defend home court. Last regular season game, tuning up before two conference game later coming up after this, and hopefully they'll secure home court for the playoffs when they come back.
Yep, the Jumbos currently sitting at 5-3 in the NESCAC standings, good for tying themselves at 4th place in the conference. They are tied with Wedstep against Trinity on Saturday. If Tufts wins both of those games, Ethan, they will be here once again. And you know, in conference play, when stakes are on the line, they want to be at the place where they're 10-1.
Home court's huge. You got the fans behind you, and you're comfortable in your own gym, so it's going to mean a lot. And it's shown a lot this season, too.
A lot of really cool stuff to watch. Of course, The Jumbos not playing with Kai Champion, who appears to be out with some sort of hand injury, wearing a brace. Hopefully all is well for him in the coming weeks. And that actually opens up a lot of interesting possibilities, Ethan, because in this non-conference games where the stakes aren't necessarily as high, could be cool to see which specific players in the Jumbos do step up with one of their key players on the bench. Yeah,
of course. And we're going to see, obviously, the starters are going to have to step up, cover for some of what they're missing in Kai on offense. But this could open up an avenue for James Maricas to come in and make an impact, as he hasn't been playing as much as of late.
Of course, a lot of really strong players. Kai Champion, of course, normally not in the starting lineup, so the starting five for the Jumbos remains the same. It's Cohen, Aronson, Thorner, Stewart, and Gettings, who will get the opening tip up against Connor Kelly. Colby-Sawyer, maybe not as deep of a team as the Jumbos. You can see their bench is only about half full in terms of roster size, but they definitely have some stars to open things up. It's the Jumbos control the opening tip.
Colby-Sawyer have a few big contributors in Boone and Scott Lampron. And Terrence Harvey Jr. has also been having a good run of form lately, at least before last night.
Truman Gettings attempts the first shot of the game with a missed layup on the left-hand side. It is rebounded by Colby-Sawyer. Terrence Harvey Jr. over to Kelly. Chargers currently have 5 out. Boone, the contested 3, is rebounded by Aronson.
Good solid man defense there. Not really giving them a quality shot.
Gettings cross-court pass. Dylan Thorner, open 3, rimming in and out. Harvey again into Kelly. They're going to look across the baseline for Lampron. No result. Instead over to Cummings. Goes for a drive. Broken up by Bobby Stewart. And Aronson unable to retrieve it. It's going to stay right here.
Good anticipation from the Tufts defense there, coming over to help, getting a hand in.
7 seconds to shoot. And that shot is denied by Bobby Stewart. And now the Jumbos are trying to move in transition. Thorner has some options over to Cohen. Extra feed. Aronson in the corner. No good. Colby-Sawyer coming off of a really close game yesterday. And some of their players have really been hitting that minutes restriction pretty heavily. They might be a bit worn down potentially here as another shot goes wide.
Yeah, and obviously fatigue might be an issue, having played last night and some of their big guys playing the entire game. And that might open up some opportunities for some guys on the bench. One of them, Kadir Arka, potentially getting a bit more playing time tonight.
Jumbos get the scoring started with an open layup for Carson Cohen. Definitely much needed offensive start for him and the rest of the Jumbos. Harvey is guarded by Thorner. The turnaround jumper was fancy, but no result right there. Aronson gets another board. And it goes off of the foot of Harvey Jr., and the Jumbos will get a side out. Jumbos have been very good in non-conference play, currently sitting at 11-2 in these specific matchups. And again, not super high stakes for this one, but always want to make sure gears are turning, players are performing well before you get a couple nice days off before NESCAC play.
It's always good to win.
Aronson, no good. Rebounded by Gettings, who will lay it up and in. Crashing that offensive glass has been an important thing for Truman Gettings, Ethan.
Yeah, no, he's been a big part, getting about 5 boards a game, and offensive rebounds are huge. Give you another shot, give you another opportunity to put some points up on the board.
Lampron gets blocked again. The Jumbos have been performing very well on the defensive end, as Aronson will now pick it up and lay it up and in for 2.
Their defense has been leading to a lot of good transition offense. Obviously, not too many points on the board, but it is getting them to up the tempo and, you know, get this game going a little bit.
Omar Boone with his first shot of the game at the elbow gets fouled on the wrist by Gettings, and he'll head to the line to shoot 2.
Jumbo fouls on number 25, Truman Gettings. That's his first, team first.
Omar Boone averaging 15 points per game for this Charger squad. One of the lead factors for their team. He's listed as a forward, does like to play in the perimeter and shoot from the outside. Some substitutions for the Jumbos. Casey McLaren, Theo Henry entering the game. Stewart and Cohen are the first on the bench for the side of the Jumbos. And Boone misses on both.
A little bit unusual. Seems like a pretty good free throw shooter, around 74% on the year.
Jumbos opening up on a 6-0 run to start this game. Gettings over to Henry. He'll take the wide open three straight away and knock it down.
Coming right off the bench, making an impact. First touch of the game, knocking down a three.
One of the glue guys for this Jumbo team, Theo Henry, kind of does a little bit of everything.
Absolutely, and he's got great energy. He's able to take a charge on the defensive end, comes up with the rebound there.
And now is taking that primary ball handling responsibility over to Gettings, who is guarded by Kelly, and that's travel.
Substitutions for the Bows. Coming in is number 2.
See James Maracas and Josh Bernstein coming in.
Joshua Bernstein replacing Alex and Gettings.
Josh Bernstein, the freshman, 6'11", big guy. And his role has increased a lot as the season's progressed this year.
Colby-Sawyer still trying to find an opportunity to score. Lampron, contested jumper, will knock it down. Jumbo still with a 7-point lead. Henry gets the ball knocked away by Harvey, and that's just a quick turnover. Nice play on the defensive end by Terrence Harvey Jr.
Does a good job of rushing the ball handler there, making him lose control.
Nice cut inside, and that layup in for Cummings. Thought it was basically a guaranteed shot. It will go down as well. Casey McLaren now gets a handle of the ball, tries to drive, has it knocked out of bounds.
Out of bounds, jumbo ball. Substitution for the Bows. Coming on is number 20, Scott Jemesi.
More substitution for the Jumbo. Scott Jemesi, the freshman, who has gotten an extended amount of playing time in these past couple of weeks. Now entering the game. Ball was kicked, and it looks like it's staying here.
Jemesi's done a really great job with this opportunity the past couple games, having a double-double, 10 and 10, and just a big rebounder for his size, which is huge for this Jumbo team.
Maracas gets to the rim and will knock it in for 2. James Maracas, of course, some extra minutes have opened up with Kai Champion currently out, and certainly going to want to make an opportunity out of that.
Absolutely.
Oh, woo. Bernstein is just towering over the opposition and denying another opportunity there from Kelly. Jumbo's now on the moon. Maracas goes for Bernstein on the inside. He is so much taller than everybody else, and the fadeaway baby hook goes in.
Sometimes that's all you need, just a little bit of height on your defender or the person that you're defending, and it'll come naturally.
Bernstein averaging about 1.4 blocks per game in the recent playing time that he has had. 3 is knocked down. Scott Lampron off to a pretty quick start. He has 5 points. A bit of a slow start to this first half, but teams are look to start to find their rhythm. The give and go to Henry, unable to find a shot. Instead, have to pull it back outside. Looking for Bernstein. It's a bit crowded down low. 3 members of the Chargers are there, and a denial will occur on the side of Omar Boone. But another quick turnover, and Maracas is left in. He's going to go up for the layup, but it's blocked again by Boone. Another very strong defensive effort there out of the senior.
That one right there was just hustle and athleticism. I mean, it looked like an easy layup for easy 2 for Maracas, but good recovery there by Boone.
A very quick back and forth sequence right there. Both the teams got a little cardio in. They ran back and forth about twice in the span of 10 seconds or so. Harvey on the inbound will find Boone. He's guarded by Jemesi. tough defense there by the freshman will lead to a miss. Now Maracas gets by one. Does have Cummings to get by. Swings over to Deterley, who has entered the game and will knock down a three.
Pretty pass from Maracas. Spinning in, kicking out, finding the open man. Good transition offense there.
See a new generation of jumbos on the court right now. Two freshmen with Maracas and Gimesi and Bernstein actually for three. And another turnover is there as well. Gimesi gets a hold of it. He has Cummings guarding him. The spin and the layup is no good. And McLaren and maybe the help of Connor Kelly get another 2 points on the board.
Jumbos are doing a really good job on capitalizing off of empty possessions for Colby-Sawyer. They're really pushing the pace here. They're finding easy buckets in transition.
Shot there from Harvey is no good. Colby-Sawyer really haven't gotten it together on the offensive end just yet. Maracas will drive right through everybody on the Chargers. Bernstein with the offensive board will battle in and knock down two more, flexing his muscles a little bit to show his stuff.
He's just too big down there. Huge offensive rebound there.
It's a quick 20-7 lead. The Jumbos taking control of this one early with their second unit. Lamprun does get fouled. Looks like it will be on Deterley. And will be 2 free throws coming in.
Jumbo fouls on number 13, Jason Turley. That's his first, each third. 2 shots for Lamprun.
Scott Lamprun, definitely a very high volume scorer, has picked up a 31-point game against New England College on November 29th. Also is a holder of the top 10 most points in team history in a single game. Number 10 on that list with a 38-point game on February 9th of last year.
It's just talent right there. He's a very efficient player too. He shoots around 45, 40, and 85, so you can expect him to be relatively efficient most nights. And with that, all you need is a little bit of a hot hand, and you can go off for anything.
McLaren, nice pass on the other side. His three, it's a bit short. Gimesi does fall down to the floor. Does not look like the refs call anything there. Entering the game is Zach Caraballo here for the Chargers. Turnaround shot by Abdullahi is no good. Turley controls the board. Oh, and a cutting Bernstein. There's just nobody who is even close to the size of him, and it's a quick 6 points for the freshman.
That is quintessential pick and roll play. You see 2 men on you, dump it off to your big, let him do all the work.
22-9 in favor of the Jumbos. Caraballo is guarded by Maracas, tries to get by. Instead, kick it out to Boone. Along the baseline he goes. Will go for the contested layup, and nobody on the Jumbos did connect with his body. And now Deterley controls on the transition. Messi with one hand, a little short, and Boone controls the board. Colby-Sawyer likes to work here on the fast break, and Deterley just absolutely denies him on the other end.
Not sure going 1-on-3 there was the best decision, but
Deterley's three is no good. It's long rebound picked up by Maracas. We're about halfway through this first half. It's been very Jumbo dominated so far. Bernstein controlling the low post.
He likes that matchup.
Quick pick, extra feed. Maracas straight away. Bang! Another three-pointer for the Jumbos.
It's a good offensive possession, and it's good. Bernstein recognized he liked the matchup, drew a second defender, and good ball movement leads to an open three.
Caraballo will try to match shot for shot. Will rim in and out. Chargers need to find some good defense here to counteract the offense, and it looks like with Scott Lamprun stripping, we might see another move on transition, but it's quickly picked off again by Gimesi. Been a very sloppy game so far, Ethan.
Yeah, that was a good idea, but I think right now what Colby-Sawyer needs is to just settle it down. They need to start putting some points on the board, getting some good offensive possessions in before this game gets even further out of hand.
It's already an 18-point lead. And Abdullahi will add to the deficit, cut away from the deficit a little bit with another three. Colby-Sawyer does like shooting from downtown, but Joshua Bernstein definitely does not, but doesn't need to. Try to dominate through three. Chargers right there, unable to connect on that one. Quick pass again. Abdullahi has had some quick work. The reverse lay goes in. Brandon Linton wants a timeout.
A good quick 5-point swing from Colby-Sawyer, and you see they're taking less risks. They're playing a little bit more settled, and you never know what can happen. It's only a 13-point game.
Quick turnaround, actually, for Colby-Sawyer to get back into this game. And speaking of Colby-Sawyer, we've seen some pretty interesting things recently with the logo, actually, of this university. If you're familiar with NESCAC play, you might know a little bit about the Colby College Mules. And if you take a look at the logo, Ethan, it looks rather similar. Just a lot of very, interesting similarities between two colleges that kind of have the same name as well. I mean, we're going to pull up the graphic in a second, but I mean, very, very interesting just to take a look at the side-by-side, especially considering that Colby was here just a couple of days ago.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, to be completely honest with you, when I first saw Colby-Sawyer, I thought they were affiliated in some way because they're just so similar. I mean,
it's been we'll get the graphic up in a little bit, but Colby is called the Mules. Colby-Sawyer is called the Chargers. But it's a very similar horse logo facing the right side.
Both blue.
They're both blue. It's very, I don't know. It was just something I noticed because we've been following the NESCAC for a couple of years now. How on JumboCast is very, very easy to kind of just mix up the two, especially when you just see the name on the schedule as well.
Absolutely.
Anyway, Colby-Sawyer. They're down 13 here in this first half. About 9 minutes left. What are some things that they maybe could do? What are some things that are working well for them to maybe get themselves back into this game?
I mean, obviously they want to clean up the turnovers. They've had some bold ideas in transition, and it just hasn't worked out for them. And also play good defense, get some stops, give yourself an opportunity to put some points on the board, put some easy points on the board. Don't let the Tufts defense set up.
And I think they're going to need to keep feeding Sadiq Abdullahi, who has had multiple quick baskets, 7 points already in this first half off the bench.
And
Stewart re-entering the game on the low post, tries to get it out of there and gets the ball stripped from him a little bit. Caraballo, guarded by Thorner, looks to try to put on some crossovers over to Cummings, three-pointer, bouncing off the rim. Cohen thought about it. Instead, will drive through the baseline. Extra feed. Aronson, a wide open three is good. Beautifully executed play from the Jumbos.
That is wonderful. The pump fake, not settling for the three, driving in, drawing the defense, and finding the wide open man.
That's just prototypical X's and O's. Linton's happy about that.
That's pretty basketball right there.
Deep three from Cummings. Wow, what a shot. Kevin Cummings only shooting 29% from beyond the arc this season, but definitely is still a threat from the outside.
Yeah, it was a pretty move. Nice little step back, give himself some space.
Aronson, cross-court pass. Thorner, another three. The Jumbos, who normally are not a very high-volume three-point shooting team, are taking advantage somehow of this Colby-Sawyer defense.
Yeah, they're shooting it well. I mean, they've been doing it inside. Obviously, Bernstein's been a presence in the middle for them. While he's off the floor, everyone else been picking the slack from the perimeter.
33-19 with 7:25 to go here in the first half. Aronson picks up his dribble, gets it right back. It's guarded by Cummings. Colby-Sawyer playing a very switchable defense, but it leaves open three-pointers like that. Thorner unable to connect, rebounded by Gemesi, who gets fouled on the way up, unable to connect on the three-point play.
And again, where does that come from? That's offensive rebounds. That's hustle. Gemesi, not the tallest guy in the world. He's 6'6", and he's still out-hustling, out-working everyone, and giving himself a shot at 2 points here.
It's a very even spread of points scored for the Jumbos so far as Gemesi locks down that first free throw. Nobody above 7, who is Maracas leading the way. And if I take a look at this, there's 9 Jumbos who have scored in the first 13 minutes of play.
And you juxtapose that with Colby-Sawyer, who only have 3 scorers on the board with Lamprun, Cummings, and Abdullahi. And you see that the Jumbos are getting really balanced scoring, and that's obviously contributing to this lead that they have right now.
Abdullahi knocks down another 3. Might be a big spark plug off the bench that the Chargers might need to plug into a little bit.
He's playing excellent tonight.
Cohen thought about it once again. Not really a threat from the outside. Instead, we'll look to drive and kick inside. Extra feed. Bobby Stewart finds Truman Gettings. The classic 1-2 between the tall guys.
See the goggles come up from Bobby Stewart as he's walking back on defense. He's a good passer as a big man, and he knows it, and he has fun with it.
Cummings with a fadeaway jumper will knock it down. And Colby-Sawyer has been able to match back offensively a little bit here. The lead's still 15 for the Jumbos. Aronson. Pull-up pop from beyond the arc. No good. Rebounded by Gettings. There's 2 Chargers on him. No basket, weighs the referee. The foul is on the floor. It's going to go against Kadir Arca.
Colby-Sawyer fouls on number 23. Kadir Arca, his second, team second. Substitution for the Chargers coming on.
Quick substitutions in here for Colby-Sawyer. Number 13, Juan Nieves has entered the game. Some new blood for Colby-Sawyer. Looking to try to find something that will get them back into this one. Cohen, a deep 3. No good. Also see Daniel Jordan entering for the first time. Big threat from the outside. Cummings again, gets past Stewart. We'll look to kick again. Caraballo down the middle, the floater and the bank in for 2. Wow, that was a very quick response there by Dylan Thorner.
That was a good outlet pass there, finding Thorner for the easy layup before Colby-Sawyer can set up their defense. And offensively, Colby-Sawyer has been a little bit more patient the couple possessions before that one, which had led to them getting some baskets, some offense going.
They've actually, come back a little bit here in this half. They've been shooting at a 40% clip at this point. The Jumbos at 51.6. So really solid-ish offense, though, coming out from the Chargers. Just need to find a way to stop the Jumbos on the defensive end.
Absolutely. 13-point lead isn't insurmountable, and I mean, they have the offense to do it. They just need to string together some stops.
Aronson tries to drive with 6 to shoot. Almost an acrobatic finish. Oh, but it goes off of the arm of Nieves, and it's staying here. Carson Cohen calls out a play. He'll be the inbound here. Quick pass, but it's broken up here. I don't even think Cummings really was expecting the ball to bounce off of his arm, but instead the Chargers will find themselves with another possession.
Yeah, as the inbounder, you can't really let that happen.
Oh, and look at Henry trying to get the ball away from Cummings. We'll be able to retrieve it, but now there's only 15 seconds left to shoot. Looks for a cutting player here, Caraballo. 6 to shoot, needs to try to create a shot. He's guarded by Gettings, a tall defender. He'll try to lay it up through him, unable to connect. Cohen now with some space will look Henry on the right side corner, a bit short. Quick rebound here on the other side. Cummings will try his hand at a 3, no good. A lot of really quick transition offense here from both of these teams. Aronson will find Carson Cohen, who will try to reset things, slow it down a little bit here to end off this first half. Aronson, quick give and go to Stewart. He'll be able to retrieve it. There's 10 to shoot. Finds a pass. Carson Cohen unable to connect. What kind of pass was that from Bobby?
That seemed a little errant, but it got to his guy. Couldn't hit the shot. It was a decent offensive possession. I feel like they were being a little bit too unselfish there, especially on the fast break opportunity. But
Jordan works his way to the free throw line. He's blocked by Stewart. And now another quick opportunity here. Henry will lay it up and in. It's a 15-point game for the Jumbos.
Good transition offense. Their outlet passes have been hitting, and they've been getting a ton of easy looks because of it.
Dan Kegler calls a quick timeout here with 3 minutes to go. It's been a really interesting game here, Ethan. I feel like neither team has really gotten the opportunity to set up their offense in a really particular way, and especially on Colby-Sawyer's end, the defense has just been a little bit out of whack. It's like they're trying to switch a little bit too much, and doesn't really, it just means that a lot of Jumbos get open shots on the outside.
Yeah, I mean, the Jumbos have been doing a really good job of playing from the inside out. I mean, they'll drive and kick, and also they've been pushing the pace a lot. And as a result of that, they have 11 assists so far as opposed to Colby-Sawyer's 3. And so you can kind of tell that the teams are playing a little bit differently.
You see the logos up here. I mean, just uncanny at this point. The fact that they have the same name and also have the logos in the same order. Obviously, a charger refers to a horse. A mule is like a half of a horse, kind of.
Right, but they're also, the logos are facing the same direction. There's like, the colors are the same. It's crazy.
I don't know. I don't know who came first, the chicken or the egg in this case. I would assume Colby because they don't have the Sawyer at the end of it, but I don't want to make any specific assumptions. Speaking of, we did see that Colby visited here 4 days ago against the Jumbos. They did take the loss by 9 points in a conference game that gave the Jumbos a bit of a winning record here in conference play. Colby-Sawyer, don't know the result just yet, but already we're seeing it's a much higher octane offensive game than the one that they were playing against some of their previously named counterparts.
Yeah, for sure. And who knows? It might be that if you're named Colby and playing against Tufts, it's gonna be a tough night for you.
3 minutes to go. Caraballo switch here onto Bernstein. It just engulfs that ball with his massive left hand. Another turnover here for the Chargers. The Jumbos regain possession. Jordan playing really tight defense here. We'll find Deturley into Bernstein, who slams it down.
Beautiful touch pass there. Good, just really good anticipation and awareness, knowing that Bernstein would be wide open under the basket.
That's Daniel Jordan with the 3. That's what he does. Unfortunately, that one does not connect. 80% of his shots are from the outside, shooting a 32% clip from there this season.
Good shooter, but not really sure that's the shot you want to take. That's early in the shot clock. You haven't really had time to set up your offense. Good things have happened when they've taken their time, been patient, and really looked for their offense.
Henry over to Deturley. 15 to shoot. Maracas drives across the baseline, looks to put it up. Strong move, but no result here this time for the freshman. Colby-Sawyer trying to cut down in this jumbo lead. Abdullahi is guarded by Maracas. Now to Boone. Quick feed back over to Lamprin. Nice ball movement here for Colby-Sawyer. No result, though, as Abdullahi's shot goes wide. Now quick move, extra feed. Theo Henry, same corner that he has shot previously, but has been unable to connect from down there so far. .90 seconds to go here in this first half. Jumbo's very dominant performance over the Chargers so far here in this one. Last game and Cousins Gymnasium of the regular season for Tufts. Runner here does not go for Caraballo, and the Jumbos will get another fast break opportunity. Maracas loses control of the ball. Picked up by Boone, and it looks like Lampron will regain control of it. Caraballo for 3, rimming in and out. Jumbo's looking to slow it down.
1 minute remaining in the half.
Henry looks to drive, finds Bernstein. Again, just unstoppable down low. Will draw the foul and head to the line to shoot 2.
My man says 8 points in this first half, and he's been just huge. He's been good on offense. I mean, he's getting the ball a lot down low, finishing his shots, finishing his chances. And on the defensive end, I mean, that length. Can't imagine it's easy to play against.
Bernstein standing tall at 6'11". Tallest player currently on the court for the Chargers was Boone at 6'5". Now with Kelly into the game, he's at 6'6", but still not really that big of a difference. It's still going to be pretty hard to guard him down there.
Yeah, no. And I mean, there's a lot you can do. You can swarm him, you can do whatever, but at the end of the day, size is size, and it's tough to compete with that.
Kelly goes for a 20-foot jumper, no good. Strong rebound by McLaren, and Jumbos will probably hold for one here to close out this first half.
Now, you don't want to go too far away from what's been working for you. You want to still move the ball. You want to still make sure that you get a good shot. Just because it's the end of the half doesn't mean that you should be isolating and taking a contested shot.
Turley guarded by Boone, looking to make a move. Kick, Marakis for three, good! James Marakis looking to close out the scoring here for the Jumbos. He's now in double digits.
And he's really taken this opportunity and gone with it. He seems like he's been everywhere this game. I mean, I've noticed him a lot. He's been having a really good impact. He's got good hustle. He's been scoring the ball. He's been pushing the pace. Good stuff from him. Really
good stuff coming out for the Jumbos. They have a 21-point lead entering halftime against the Colby-Sawyer Mules. Again, last regular season game here in Cousins Gymnasium. The Jumbos will want to make it count. We'll be back in 15 minutes for the start of the second half.
How has it been being part of the starting lineup now with two sophomores, two other seniors? You guys have been starting every game together. How is that relationship and sort of that chemistry done for the season?
It's great. I love the young cats. We have a couple old guys on our team that are still kicking around, but we got a really great group of young guys, and it's been fun to help lead them and help tell them all our old war stories from freshman, sophomore year.
They're big time. I mean, every single one of them brings something different, new to the table, and I mean, just always they've got so many experiences and so many fun stories that just really make this team a great time to be around, and I'm going to miss every single one of them, but we're definitely going to cherish this season and this year while we got it.
I think the chemistry between us has just grown exponentially from the fall. We started playing me at the 4 with Bob a lot more. I think our chemistry specifically has been really good.
Just being a starter, building the chemistry with the other guys. Tyler, I've been playing with him for 4 years, so I'm able to build good chemistry there. And then playing with the two big guys, I think they play really well together.
But it's great to have them on the floor, and it's awesome to compete with everybody on the team.
So hypnotic, magical. Don't wanna let you know you're so hypnotic, magical. I don't wanna let you know you're so hypnotic, magical.
has the best post-game, or we're just doing anytime celebration?
Oh, easily Bobby Stewart.
Bobby Stewart assist celebration.
Bob with the goggles, one of my favorites.
Puts the goggles on, running back with the good swag.
I'm Bobby Stewart. I'm a sophomore, and I'm number 21.
Bobby Stewart is looking like Nikola Jokic out there right now.
He's really contributing in every facet of the game tonight.
That is Bobby Stewart's 6th assist on the day.
He loves to show off. When he makes those passes, he knows he made a great pass.
I feel like that's one thing I try and bring to the team the most is keep things a little bit loose, keep things fun, and the goggles celebration is a classic. I will pride myself on that one. I guess the assists are my favorite part of the game, so you got to celebrate a little bit. But yeah, I mean, it's always, at the end of the day, basketball is a game, and we're here to have a little bit of fun. And I know obviously we've got big goals and we take things very seriously and work very hard, but at the same time, it's just like to go out there and have some fun with it. And so that's what I try and do day in and day out.
I like when Bobby pulls out the post-game donut to celebrate a big win in the locker room.
Obviously the assist goggles are great, but I think also my three-point celebrations are slept on. I know I'm calling myself a lot here, but when other people hit threes, I'm not making them, but I lay it down for them, so.
name, number, and year for the camera.
Sure, yeah. Tyler Aronson, number 11, senior.
This is your 4th year of starting so many games for the Jumbos. How has it been being such a pivotal player for this team for so long and just really leaving such a big mark on this program?
It's great. You know, I'm from the Boston area, so coming to Tufts was a great experience for me, especially being close and seeing all my family members at all my games. But being here for 4 years has been an absolute blessing, and I love the Tufts basketball program. I've seen a lot of changes throughout my years being here, and I'm just very excited and very grateful to be part of such a great program that really looks out for all of its players.
From mid-range, Tyler Aronson. You're so hypnotic, magical. Don't wanna let you know you're so hypnotic, magical. I don't wanna let you know you're so hypnotic, magical.
Back here in Cousins Gymnasium in lovely Medford, Massachusetts, we have the second half of the Tufts Jumbos going up against the Colby-Sawyer Mules. Last game here for the men's basketball team on their home court. And it looks like things are going pretty well for them. I'm Andrew Howe, joined alongside Ethan Ito for this coverage here brought to you by JumboCast. Ethan, at the beginning of the broadcast, we asked who is a player that could potentially step up in the absence of Kai Champion tonight? The answer, kind of everybody.
Yeah, I mean, they've done a really good job of balancing the score sheet. You have James Marakis really stepping up in Kai's absence, and 7 points in the first half. He's made an impact with his hustle. Josh Bernstein, big body in the middle, had 9 points at half, and he's been making an impact on the defensive end too. So it's been a really good job by the team. I mean, everyone's been doing their job. Everyone's been playing well.
Both teams have their starting lineups out here to start the second half. An acrobatic attempt is no good by Terrence Harvey Jr. to open things up. Maracas the only player for the Jumbos in double figures. Everybody else has kind of just scored a relatively decent amount. Getting thought about a 3. Instead, will drive back to the inside. Bobby Stewart guarded here, not able to connect. A nice block out of Connor Kelly, and the ball sails out of bounds. A foul called. Stewart a little bit slow to get up. Looks like he will be fine. Took a dive to try and save the possession for the Jumbos. Instead, going to go the other way. It's a 21-point deficit here for the Chargers. They're going to look to try to find a quick amount of work on the offensive end. The give and go there for Harvey Jr., no good.
Yeah, I mean, Colby-Sawyer needs to put points on the board however they can and need to get stops on the other end, too. And Jumbo's putting up 47 in the first half. Can't happen again.
Scott Lamprin knocks things down here for the Chargers. Open things up for them. Thorner for 3. In and out, rebounded by Stewart. Oh, and the alley-oop almost goes down for Thorner. He's unable to get it all the way down.
Great idea there. I mean, playing with a lead, you can go for things like that.
Only 4 Chargers have scored in this first half.
Yeah, they're going to need more balance in the second half. You can't rely on these 4 guys providing all the offense for you. You look at that as opposed to Tufts, where almost everyone that's been on the floor has scored.
And take a look around. Omar Boone, the lead scorer for the Chargers all season, still has yet to make an attempt. Aronson off the pass from Stewart, no good. Lamprin is guarded here by Gettings. Get a pick here. Kick back. Harvey tries to go for another fadeaway, no good. Rebounded by Cohen, who's now working it again in transition. Kick out. Aronson with a corner 3 will knock it down.
Good transition offense there. I mean, not too much to analyze there. Draw the defense in under the basket, kick it out to the open shooter in the corner, and
drive and kick has been the name of the game for the Jumbos so far. Colby-Sawyer unable to find really anything just yet. Kelly trying to kick back out to Cummings. A foul is called on the floor, and it looks like it's going to stay here. Foul committed against the Jumbos is going to be on Carson Cohen.
Yeah, and going back to what you were saying, you can see it. You can see driving kick is the name of the game for the Jumbos. They've 14 assists in the game so far, and you see Colby-Sawyer haven't had that same. What a shot. Same level of ball movement. They only have 3 assists, I think 4 now after that inbounds play. But the point still stands. The Jumbos have been doing a phenomenal job of moving the ball around.
Cohen will to drive, dip it down over to Gettings, who will lay it up and in.
Point exactly. It doesn't have to be driving kick out to the 3 every single time. It can be a drive and dump. Whatever it is, you pull the defense out, and you find whoever's open, really.
Cummings attempted to go for a bit of a heat check, unable to connect on that one. Aronson now controlling the ball on the other end. Extra pass into Stewart down the middle, and it'll roll in for 2.
Beautiful basketball right there. Just quick decision. No one has the ball for more than a second, 2 seconds. I mean, it's zipping around. The defense obviously can't keep up. It's pretty basketball.
Lead is now up to 23. Harvey over to Kelly, who will be able to get a shot up. Rebounded by Stewart, goes for a big inbound, but it's broken up a little bit, and Lamprin will retrieve it. Boone now driving down the baseline, will slam it down. An explosive first points of the game.
My goodness. He saw Bobby Stewart closing out on him, blows right by him, and skies for the jam.
Oh, and another steal. Another dunk coming in here for Kevin Cummings. 2 quick, unfortunate errors there for the Jumbos will lead to some bit of a highlight montage here for the Chargers.
Yeah, you don't want to let it get too out of hand if you're the Jumbos. You don't want to give Colby-Sawyer any momentum, especially with a lead like this.
Oh, and Stewart gets by a defender. Not going to be the dunk this time. He did get matched by a defender, but was able to get another shot in for himself.
That was an excellent move. Just completely lost his defender, and an easy 2 there.
Harvey kicks out to Boone in the corner. He knocks down a 3, so the lead scorer for Colby-Sawyer now has 5 quick points in the second half.
Yeah, and he's getting going, and you really don't want that if you're the Jumbos. He's a good player, good scorer, leading scorer.
Cohen with the kick. Thorner from the outside, in and out. It's rebounded here in for Gettings. The ball bounces around a little bit. Jumbo get another opportunity. Thorner tries to run it down and will lay it in again. Quick timeout just to get some substitutions in for Brandon Linton, but this has been a bit of a wild ride here in the first 5 minutes of the second half.
Yeah, and as we saw on that last possession right there, second chance points, rebounding, Tufts 38 to Colby-Sawyer 17, and that's definitely a big reason why there's a 20-point deficit here. I mean, you get the offensive board, you're giving yourself another shot at getting a shot, getting points on the board, and you're limiting the amount of time that Colby-Sawyer had with the ball.
The tallest player in the rotation for Colby-Sawyer, apart from a couple of minutes out of Juan Yevis a little bit earlier, is 6'6" for Kevin Cummings as well as Connor Kelly. On the other end, the Jumbos have a bunch of players that are getting consistent minutes that are way above that height. You look at Truman Gettings and Bobby Stewart, who are both at 6'8". Josh Bernstein, who has now entered the game, at 6'11". And then a couple of really shifty guards at Dylan Thorner, Scott Gimesi, both at 6'6". I mean, the size advantage really has played a factor here, even on the inbounds there. As Lamprint's attempted pass hits the backboard. I don't think I've ever seen that before.
Yeah, that was, I mean, it's tough when you're in that spot and you don't have anyone to give it to, but shouldn't really be going off the backboard there. But
Thorner breezes by, kick, Carson Cohen for a 3.
Again, another good driving kick play. I mean, get into the paint, kick it out, and I mean, your shooters are shooting pretty well tonight, so.
It is just formulaic at this point for the Jumbos. They know exactly how to break this Colby-Sawyer defense and have burst onto the scene with 61 points in the first 26 minutes of play. Lamprint, a pass into Abdullahi. Will drive across the baseline. He's guarded by Bernstein, and you do not go into the interior when Joshua Bernstein is down low.
How great has he been for the Jumbos, man?
What a crazy game here for the freshman center, Josh Bernstein. Of course, didn't get a ton of playing time at the beginning of the season as the ball goes out of bounds, but actually had a really solid game against Harvard in an exhibition game. Had 6 points on 3 of 5 shooting, started to get a little bit more time later on. And it's been actually a pretty big factor here. He's had some pretty big games in the month of January. Shot clock expires. The shot will not go down for Abdullahi. Jumbos regain possession. Marakis looks to try and get fancy with it on the crossover, and a foul is called on the Chargers. And for the Jumbos here, Ethan, the game is pretty much in their control at this point, and you're wondering what is there to do in these next 14 minutes. And of course, there are some big games going on in the next few days with them to try and lock up a home court advantage in the first round of the NESCAC playoffs.
Yeah, absolutely. So if you're the Jumbos, I'd say your lead's pretty safe. I mean, you're up 23, 15 minutes to go. Everyone's make that 25. They're playing excellently. I mean, they're getting buckets at pretty much at will. They know how to break this defense down. So you really want to get those reps in, right? You want to run your sets. You want to make sure that your defense is settled. You want to make sure that your offense, you know your sets. You know everyone's comfortable with each other. So that going into the games this coming weekend, you're sharp, you're on it. It's not a question of, oh, what a move.
Bernstein will get up in there again. Another timeout called, this time by Dan Kegler. Lead is now 27, and it's a little bit more of what we have seen in that first half, Ethan.
Yeah, I mean, again, if you're the Jumbos, get into your sets, settle your offense, work on the little things so that come this weekend, you're sharp and you give yourself the best chance to win out and secure a spot in the NESCAC playoffs.
Jumbos likely have that spot locked up. The question is with these next 2 games is, do they get that home court advantage? Again, 10-1, most likely to be 11-1 after the conclusion of this one here, Ethan. And of course, around the middle of the pack there in the 3rd or 4th position, depending on how many games they do win this weekend. So you're going to be playing up against a team that definitely is rather competitive in the NESCAC, probably that 5th or 6th seed. And you're definitely going to want to have that added edge being home with, of course, some of the biggest fans here in the NESCAC with these Tufts Jumbos. Always come out to support in these big moments. Didn't unfortunately work for the Jumbos last year when they hosted Trinity in the first round of the NESCAC playoffs. But hopefully for them, there's a spot in the NCAA tournament on the line, and they're definitely going to have to get a couple of wins out of the NESCAC tournament to earn their bid.
Yeah, absolutely. And they have a fortress here in Cousins. They've done excellently all season. 10-1, like you said. Most probably going to be 11-1 after tonight. And home court's huge. I mean, you have the comfort of the gym that you practice in. You've got your friends and family showing up for you. And all of that can make a difference, especially in a closely seeded game against competition that'll be probably incredibly stiff.
Taking a look around, of course, Wesleyan tied with Tufts at 5-3. Connecticut College and Amherst also potential first-round opponents if things do go the Jumbo's way this weekend. Caraballo is controlling the ball here for the Chargers. Quick touch foul by Theo Henry. Substitutions coming in here. Looks like Jordan will enter for the Chargers as well as Jay DeTurley as Theo Henry heads to the bench. Abdullahi is guarded by Chris Bortz, the senior, who has entered the game for the first time tonight. Kick here, Boone open with a three-pointer. It was contested here by Messi and is rebounded by Casey McLaren. Maracas tries to go behind the back. It's almost picked up by Bortz. Another turnover here for the Jumbos, and now it's Colby-Sawyer trying to move in transition, but Boone and Abdullahi get a bit tangled up as the ball sails out of bounds.
Yeah, and you can't afford turnovers like that. I mean, you have a good transition opportunity there. You just need to settle it, and if you can't get an easy bucket, easy quick bucket, you set up your offense. Don't give the ball right back to the Jumbos.
McLaren back to Bortz, guarded by two members of the Chargers. Looks like he was fouled as he falls down to the ground here. Jumbos have 20 assists on the night today. It seems like they've been distributing the ball well. They average about 17.5 per game, and considering we're at the 12-minute point here in this second half, Ethan, definitely a better showing for them here on that end.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, honestly, it's a really good thing, especially with big games coming up. Everybody eats, everybody feels good. You know, it gets everyone's confidence up and it gets the team closer together.
Jay DeTurley knocks down that triple. He can be a spark plug, a microwave off the bench if he does get hot. Ball sails out of bounds there. We'll be staying right here. 30-point lead.
It's a lot of ground for Colby-Sawyer to make up. And time is starting to tick a little bit.
Caraballo at the elbow, no good. Now DeTurley controls it over to Maracas now.
Matchup, good little baby hook shot, good touch there.
Kevin Cummings is guarded by McLaren. He'll work his way across the baseline, tries to get up, but is fouled. Looks like the personal will be going against McLaren, and Cummings will head to the line to shoot two.
Casey McLaren, that's his first. Team fourth. Cummings is at the line for the Chargers, shooting two.
Kevin Cummings averaging 12.1 points and 4.8 rebounds entering tonight. In a breakout season last year, averaging about 13 points per game. And has definitely his moments on the offensive end. Is 12 points today, make that 13 with the completion of that free throw.
He's looked good. I mean, he's hit some tough shots for them. It's the offense as a collective that hasn't really stepped up, and
Oh, nice move to the inside. Deturley will lay it in. See, the Jumbo bench is celebrating as well. Boone converts on the other end. Quinn Kane has entered the game for the Jumbos for the first time. The sophomore missed a lot of last year due to injury. Good to see Brandon Linton mixing around his rotations a little bit, trying to get minutes to as many players as he can, get as many looks as possible before some of the bigger games down the line. Deturley here, guarded by Jordan, works his way across the baseline, will lay it up, no good. Rebounded by Gemesi as he will tip it back in for another 2 points.
And we're on double-double watch here. Gemesi has 8 points and 9 rebounds right now. Another very, very good game from him.
Boone with the runner, a bit short. Bortz with the board, tries to get it over to Maracas, who finally will be able to take it back up the court. Deturley rimming out. Bortz with the board, and is controlled here by Colby-Sawyer. Sailing out of bounds there. Re-entering the game is Lamprin, senior out of Concord, New Hampshire. Some new Jumbos entering the game as well. Sidney Wooten, number 3, making his way in, the freshman out of Phoenix, Arizona. And again, these are, you know, the term garbage time is not necessarily a very pleasant set of words, but honestly, for any of these players that are getting some run right now, a really good opportunity to show their stuff.
You know, from the outside, we might call it garbage time, but this is really an opportunity for these guys that aren't normally in the rotation to prove themselves and show that they belong and they have a spot in the regular rotation. And so don't expect any drop-off in the effort.
Yeah, you see somebody like Scott Gemesi, actually, who was somebody who wasn't getting a whole lot of time, found an opportunity. Quinn Kane lays it up for 2, his first points of the game. 76-41, Jumbos dominating end-to-end here in the last game at Cousins Gymnasium of the regular season. Again, barring some wins in NESCAC play this weekend on the road, the Jumbos could be hosting another game here for the first round of the NESCAC tournament. Wooten will drive across the baseline. He's pretty quick with the ball here. But the pass is broken up. Kane will hustle for it and tries to dive in, pick up the loose ball. A foul is called against him, and the ball is going to stay right here.
And again, a little bit of an errant pass there. I mean, it's just the sharpness isn't quite there for Colby-Sawyer, and you see them turning it over, maybe not really getting the opportunities that they should be getting, all kind of contributing to them being in this hole.
Abdullahi, it's a kickball. That one flew.
Yeah, that was a pretty good boot on him.
Looks like we're going to stay right here. 8:22 left to go here in the second half. Some new faces entering the game now for Colby-Sawyer. Nieves re-entering. Played a couple of minutes to try and match the might of Joshua Bernstein in that first half. Didn't really come up to much success. He has not played that much in this season, so not to expect too much. Mike Joanno has entered the game for the first time. His shot's no good. It's rebounded by Maracas. Deturley over to Kane. He'll try his hand at an open 3. Knocks it down. Quinn Kane, tres puntos.
If there's one thing the Jumbos have got down pat, it's their transition offense. They know when to take it inside. They know when to stop and pop for a 3.
Jordan knocks it down for the triple. Good ball movement around. Bortz now looking for a kick. Wooten takes a shot at the elbow and will knock it down for 2. Sidney Wooten, 1.4 points per game in the 5 games that he has off the bench entering tonight. Extra minutes, always a good thing for the freshman. And now Theo Liu entering the game. Looks like Brandon Linton wants to make sure all his players get some run tonight.
And in a game like this, I mean, you keep everyone happy. You get morale up right as the season's coming to a close. It's never a bad thing.
Jordan is guarded by Wooten. Jordan tries another 3, knocks it down again. That's what he does.
Catching a little bit of fire.
Petrelli over to Bortz here. Chris Bortz is yet to score tonight. Over to Kane. Another open 3, and this time in the corner. Rimming out Liu with a nice offensive board, and Deturley tries his hand from the outside and will knock it down.
2 things on that play. First of all, different players, same principle. They've been doing a really great job of driving and kicking it out, and it's the same thing this play. Another thing, offensive rebound, leading to a wide open 3.
And the sides, of course, is always a big factor for the Jumbos. Of course, they have Truman Gettings and Bobby Stewart as 2 of their really dominant guards, but
absolutely
always nice to see, continuing to go forward. Other players can also contribute at that end.
Size isn't everything. You need to have some hustle along with it.
Ain't that the truth? I believe the final member for the Jumbos entering the game, Jackson Patton, the sophomore out of Rumson, New Jersey, getting some run as Deturley hits the bench.
And number 31, Owen Morris for the Chargers, replaces Lamford.
And on the other end, Owen Morse, the sophomore guard, onto the court for the Chargers. Abdullahi is guarded by Kane. Gets a nice pick, a nice kick over to the other side. Juano with the jumper is good.
It's good offense there. I mean, good decision making. The look up, the blow by, 1 dribble pull up for an easy 2 points.
About 5 minutes ago here in this game, Jumbos, of course, defending their home court. They'll extend their streak to 11-1 here in Cousins Gymnasium on the season.
Yeah, something special about this place, yeah.
It's a great place. Inside, Nieves guarded by 2 Jumbos, stripped away, and here comes Wooten on the fast break. Can't get all the way up there for the guard. Lays it up and in for 2.
Come on, put on a show.
Hit the gym a little bit, 6 foot.
We know you can.
And Bortz gets a steal. We'll try to go the other way. Maybe a highlight reel. The pass dunk is broken up and a foul is called against Nieves. Did not want that highlight to go over to the senior. He was looking for it.
Yeah, I pull up the effort.
Chris Bortz heads to the line. Played on Saturday, started the game on senior night. Of course, being that senior, large mentorship role for the team, especially for some of these younger forwards and Stewart, Bernstein, Gettings. I'm sure he's shown the rest of them the ropes a pretty good amount.
And that's huge to have, I mean, it's not easy playing a sport at a high level, and learning especially as a big, learning the physicality, learning how to deal with it, learning some little tips and tricks,
Stripped away again. Quinn Kane goes on the fast break. Foul called on the breakaway, so it looks like the Jumbos will just control it on the side out. We're just fishing for highlights right now at this point.
I mean, you've earned the right if you're the Jumbos. You put him
offensive end, but I was not necessarily expecting us to reach this high of a scoring margin.
Oh yeah, no, great offensive showing. I mean, people have been hitting their shots. Like, guys have been playing well, moving the ball well. It's one of the most balanced score sheets I've ever seen in a while.
Yeah, I mean, every player except for Lou and Patton, who have just entered the game a few minutes ago, have scored for the Jumbos. So a very well-balanced effort. We were talking before the game, Ethan, about how this Jumbos team is really good at just having a bunch of players that can all show up at different moments. And we're seeing it to full effect here as everybody has come to play.
Yeah, absolutely.
Lou from the corner is no good. Bortz fights for the offensive rebound and will control it for the Jumbos. Cutting Lou on the inside, finishes it with the left hand. Now we need one more. We need Jackson to score.
Everybody's been eaten.
Timeout called by Colby-Sawyer. Taking a look around the rest of the NESCAC, as this is, of course, some pretty important territory for the Jumbos to control over the next few days. Of course, only non-conference matches are being played today by NESCAC teams. Williams will be facing off against SUNY New Paltz. That game is currently underway. And then on Friday is the kicker. We got Hamilton, Bowdoin, Middlebury, Conn College, Amherst, Colby, Bates versus Trinity, and of course Tufts versus Wesleyan under the lights at 7 p.m. in Middletown, Connecticut. Of course, JumboCast won't be providing coverage of that. We will be, however, streaming our women's team finish off their regular season here in Cousins Gymnasium against Wesleyan and Trinity. Make sure to tune in Saturday at 3 p.m. It is senior day here for our women's basketball team as they look to close out their season strong. Currently sitting at 16-6, a 7-1 NESCAC record. They have already confirmed themselves to be competing right back here in the first round of the NESCAC tournament.
Yeah, they've had an excellent season this year, and you want to close it out strong. You have 2 more home games. Have fun with it, and yeah, get 2 wins out of 2.
And they hope the Jumbos can join them soon. About 3 minutes ago here in the second half of this non-conference matchup between Tufts and Colby-Sawyer. Jumper from Nieves is no good. Rebound in for Wooten. Jackson Patton still left to score here. They're going to try to feed the ball to him, but it's picked off by Jordan. And now Colby-Sawyer tries to go the other way.
You think they talked about that in the timeout there?
Maybe a little bit. Offensive board collected by Nieves, but he rolled away down, feet left the ground. You can't really do that. Patton controls it, 91-50. Strong showing out of the Jumbos, especially considering the strength that they had in their second unit there in that first half to really blow the game away. Of course, second half, maybe not as much you can take from this, but still, you see some players that are getting some of their first minutes. As Patton will line up a 3. Oh, and it's no good. You can see the bench almost ready to erupt. They want that bucket to come in for the sophomore.
And that's great to see. You know, everyone wants everyone to eat. And like you've said, I mean, the bench has been able to come on, and you don't really see any drop off in quality. The Jumbos have been really consistent, sharing the ball well, and played a great game tonight.
Patton controls it once again. Of course, the Jumbos traveling to Wesleyan Friday night. Going to be a pretty big game. Both those teams tied in the NESCAC in terms of conference record. Kane goes for the jumper at the elbow. No good. Rebounded by Nieves again. Jordan. Over to Nieves. Bortz not really considering him a threat from the outside. Abdullahi with 12 to shoot will pull up from the elbow and knock it down. 20 seconds to shoot. Patton over to Bortz. Looks to try and give and go. Senior unable to find him. Kane now looking to control. Bortz on the inside. Foul is called. Looks like it was a travel actually on the other side as the ref will reverse the decision made by his colleague. And the ball will go the other way with less than a minute to play. Jordan, step back three, and Patton grabs the foul. 3 free throws on the way for Daniel Jordan, the freshman out of Coral Springs, Florida.
Yeah, if you're Patton on that shot, you might just want to let him have it. I mean, the game's pretty much decided. No reason to take a foul on a deep three right there, but no real consequence to that one, is there?
You can see Brent Linton talking to Jackson Patton a little bit there at while we see Jordan at the free throw line. Of course, being able to teach some of these newer players in some of their some of the rare times that they do get to find the court here in Division III basketball. Always a really good opportunity.
And there's never a better way to learn than to be on the court and be playing in a game, even if the outcome might already be decided. You don't know these people that you're playing against, and they don't know you. So it's a really good chance to, have that test of playing basketball.
Wooten in the corner gives it back to Patton. There's 10 to shoot. Patton looking to find a lane. Instead, will kick. Lou from downtown, no good. Rebounded by Quinn Kane. Over to Bortz. Will find another shot, rimming just out. And I believe that will be the last possession for the Jumbos of this one. Mike Joannou misses the final jumper, and Tufts will reclaim their home court. They will defend it with a complete and absolute vigor here. They final score here in Cousins, 91-54. Front-to-back domination for the Jumbos so far in their last game here on their home court.
They're a fortress here at Cousins, and they've proved that point today. They end the regular season 11-1 at home. Quite a statement this game, 91-54, big win. Contributions across the board. I mean, you have 3 guys in double figures. You have, the rebounding was there, the assists were there. You couldn't have asked for much more from the Jumbos tonight.
Really great game out of the Jumbos. Of course, we'll head over this weekend for some NESCAC play. And I believe that's going to do it for us here on the broadcast. I believe we're maybe awaiting a potential interview. But overall, some really solid stuff. The Jumbos will head their way back to the locker room. And we're going to get an interview with Joshua Bernstein. We will be right back as we set things up. We'll see you all in a couple minutes. You clear?
You're so hypnotic, magical.
Ethan here. I'm with Josh Bernstein. You had a great game today. Really made your presence felt inside. How'd you do it?
I think it was a good week of practice. I think we had a really good scout team. I think that overall we had a really good scout on them. So we were running a lot of plays. We knew exactly what was going to go on. So it kind of just went according to plan.
Awesome. And looking ahead, you have 2 big NESCAC games away from home. What are your thoughts? How are you guys going to prepare for that? How does this win help prepare for that?
This win definitely helps a lot. I think that, tomorrow we're going to watch film on Wesleyan, and then Friday night we'll watch film on Trinity, and I think that's going to play a huge part. I think today it's just it's a good momentum going into this weekend. I think that's exactly what we needed coming out of today.
Awesome. Great win tonight. Great game tonight.
Thank you. Thank you.
And best of luck this weekend.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
So hypnotic, magical.